Welcome back to the news at 10. Aero Contractors, one of Nigeria's airlines, today wielded the big stick by laying off 410 employees. In a letter explaining the reason for reducing its workforce, the airline says it's grappling with huge personnel costs as well as other operational challenges worsened by a reduced fleet. The statement adds, those in maintenance, repair, overhaul and other essential staff in critical departments will not be affected, while affected workers will be able to access their full gratuity as well as part of their pension to cushion the effect of the development, end of quote. Aero Contractors had earlier shut operations in September 2016 but bounced back in December 2016 under new management. Now, the Advertisers Association of Nigeria has held its first industry dialogue here in Lagos. The members used it as an exclusive platform to discuss issues affecting Nigeria's marketing community. They also discussed critical issues ranging from media reach and regulatory policies to agency relations. Our correspondent Victoria Ido reports.
This is a gathering of advertisers, media buyers, agencies, regulators and other stakeholders in the marketing and communication industry. Top on the agenda of this important dialogue is regulatory issues, agency relations, digital and mainstream media. The main focus of this meeting is to examine the latest trends in the industry and its implication for members.
Digital has brought new opportunities. I believe we all agree. So for those of us who are in business, it's brought new opportunities in terms of data-driven targeting. So for the first time, you have enough data to be able to customize consumer experience.
For this to be achieved, there is a need for advertisers to comply with ethics of the profession.
You guys are not playing by the rule. If you want your advert cleared today, but it has to go through the rigors of fulfilling those requirements in the code. But surprisingly, I must admit here that a number of you don't even read the code.
Advertising practitioners and their agency regulators believe that there must be a synergy between both parties for the industry to work.
We need to understand that advertising is in the interest of all of us. And we appreciate that there is a tripod. I'm not creating it, it's been there, it's traditional. We talk about the client, we talk about advertising practitioners, the agency, and then we talk about the media. This tripod can only succeed if and when they work together.
We are growing traditionally, arithmetically. The media is growing exponentially. And we know what has affected that: technology, data, expertise. In fact, it was because of the expectation of this worry that the practice of media was separated over 15, 20 years ago from the total advertising practice.
At the end of the forum, participants go home with one thing: advertisers need to take the lead in directing thoughts and conversations that will ultimately chart a course for the industry. Victoria Ido, reporting for Channels Television News.
Let's take a look at some business news for the day. Here's Emana Amawe. Many thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Business News. Nigeria would require an additional 40 million jobs between 2010 and 2030 to reduce poverty and improve inclusive growth. This figure was revealed by the country manager of the International Finance Corporation, Mrs. Essien Lori, at the inaugural meeting of the Secretaries to State Governments of APC states in Lagos. While acknowledging the efforts of the federal government in jobs creation, Mrs. Essien advised state governments to engage in more collaboration with the private sector in this regard. And the governor of Delta State, Mr. Kwara, has signed a budget of 294.5 billion naira into law for the 2017 fiscal year. At a brief ceremony at the Government House, Asaba, witnessed by members of the Delta State Executive Council and other government officials, Governor Kwara said that infrastructure development remains a priority for his government. Also in Kwara, the state governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, has assented to the state's budget of 160.9 billion naira for 2017 as passed by the House of Assembly. Governor Ahmed said his administration will commence the execution of major capital projects immediately, starting with the new campuses of Kwara State University and all other major projects across the state. And the Central Bank of Nigeria today approved more Bureau de Change operators to partake in its weekly dollar sale in a bid to boost liquidity and support the weak naira. The president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe, told newsmen that CBN cleared 3,124 bureaus for this week's $25 million auction, which will be sold by international money transfer firm Travelex at 381 naira per dollar. The central bank had last week cleared 3,114 BDCs to buy dollars from international money transfer operators. And the local stock market extended the gain recorded on Wednesday by 46 basis points, despite a sell-off from the industrial goods sector. Let's join BC Adebayo for graphic details of today's trading activities.
Mid-cap industrial and banking stocks led the rally on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which pushed the key benchmark indicator further up by 0.46% at the close of Thursday's trading session. The market also shrugged off the impact of a price decline by the most capitalized stock, Dangote Cement, after its share price fell by 0.31%. From a list of 18 gainers, the most significant stocks in percentage value are Portland Paints, UAC Property and Sterling Bank, while 14 losers were led by 7-Up, Ashaka Cement and Custodian and Allied Insurance. Thursday's transactions were relatively higher compared with the previous sessions, as investors traded over 289.94 million shares worth 2.34 billion naira in 2,468 deals. Custodian and Allied Insurance was the major contributor to the activity chart with over 80.34 million shares. And that's it on the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo.
And European markets, especially banking stocks, closed higher following increase in interest rates, positive economic data, as well as the defeat of the populist anti-EU candidate, Geert Wilders, in the Dutch election. Meanwhile, the declines in healthcare and utility stocks dragged U.S. markets mostly lower today. And that's it on Business News Tonight. I'm Imana Amawe. It's back to you, Joma. Thanks a lot, Imana. The Madagascar Football Association chief, Ahmad Ahmad, has been elected Confederation African Football president. His emergence means a change in leadership for the first time since Issa Hayatou took charge in 1988. Our next report takes a look at the man, Ahmad Ahmad.